needs to do separate projects. And so later on, as you, like after the first year, if you want to continue, or maybe this, like you need a bigger staff than you thought, it's okay to get people that you don't necessarily like, but can get the job done. I've worked with several people that I don't like, but I can respect them enough because they're not like bad people, and like it's so much easier for me to just be like, I can work with you. I ain't gotta like it, but I can work with you. So that's always something to keep in mind, because maybe somebody is really, really good and organized at running tournaments or promoting a tournament, but like they just don't get things, and so you're just like, you're gonna stay over there in the tournament corner, and we'll be fine. So I'm gonna stay over here in the candleless corner, and we'll never see each other. It'll be great, and we'll both get our jobs done. And so you create your team, and each team member is over a different thing. So you have to know what your teammates can do, you have to know what they can't do. And it's okay to tell people what you can't do, because chances are someone can either do that or help you figure out how to do it. And so, you good? Yeah, I got a mic now. Yeah. Okay, so, you don't hear me? Wait a minute. Did it? Maybe it's just my voice. I'm just gonna A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So the mic doesn't like me. It just really, really hates me. Because every time I take the mic, it's like, no. Why can't I do this?
Hello? 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 Hello?
Alright. It just doesn't like me. Like I touch it, it's like, no, we're not gonna do this. So first things first, when you create a convention, well, when you create a convention, you have to pick a theme, and then you have to get a squad. So after you get all the people who are willing to work on your convention, then you have to sort through them and find out the people that want to and can work on your convention. Because convention creation is a time consumption thing, and you don't get, if you get paid, you don't get paid until it's finished. So if you have merch,
One more time.
so if, yes, okay. So if you have merch, you're not gonna get the sales from that, you're not gonna get the profit from that until after everything is done. So just be aware that convention creation is a time-consuming thing when the payoff is at the end. And then like when you, it's a Kiki!
Sorry for the delay.
You're good, thanks guys. So after you like kind of sort through, it's like, okay, these people want to and can work on the convention, then you have to play to each person's strengths of what they can do. Because you might have a person that's very good at promotion. Stick that person on marketing, because you're gonna need a way to reach people and tell them about your convention, so that way they know to come to the convention. You're gonna need somebody who's good with talking to people for guest relations and reaching out to different guests. You're gonna need a PR person, someone who can, like, if something goes wrong on the convention level, like either you can't help because it's the hotel's fault, or like something turns out one of the cosplayers does something really, really stupid, and you have to like make a statement to say, those are not our beliefs, and here's what we did about it. Because sometimes you'll keep a cosplayer, and sometimes you'll drop a cosplayer, because guests, a lot of times guests are paid. You have to pay them in order to come. Sometimes they'll do it for free, which is really, really nice. But a lot of times you do have to pay them. So when conventions are like, no, this person's still gonna be there, that's because they already paid them. And there's like, we can't do anything about the fact that they're stupid, but we can't say no because we already paid their butt to be here. So like, paying them and then forcing them to leave, they don't, that's only benefiting them. So that's one of the main reasons why conventions will be like, oh, this guest is here, and then like they do something, and everyone's like, yeah, we're not going to that convention because that person's there. We're just like, Can't really do anything, we paid them. So you're gonna need someone for guest relations. You're gonna need somebody for organizing your panels and panel schedules, because a lot of times you'll have like a panel submission form usually, where people will submit a panel, like this panel I did submit to for consideration, and it's like, okay, yes, these panels, no, not these panels. And usually it's just in accordance with your theme and how family friendly you are. Because there are a lot of places that will, they'll say no to a panel because it's too mature and the entire atmosphere is family friendly, like the entire convention, because maybe it's just a day convention. And then there are panels that will get rejected because it's not close enough to the theme of the convention. And so like if you stick, sometimes comic panels get the nay on at an anime convention and vice versa. So you'll need somebody to monitor panels and everything. Also, your PR person is probably the person you want, your PR person and your guest relations person are probably the people that you want managing your emails, because you're gonna need a way to contact people. They're really excited. Okay.
Are you in the city organizer?
I am not. At this point, I'm just like going around to conventions and finding people. I did work for a convention called South Campus Anime Convention for 3 years. I was their marketing manager and I helped run logistics. I say helped because technically I wasn't in charge of logistics, but when the person was like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? I was like, oh, just do this, 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 and this. And I just kind of walked away. They're like, I got it. We can do this, 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 and this. It's like, oh, cool. So, and then I'm also now a consultant for Dream Convention down in Waco, Texas. And yes, I do travel to conventions. I'll be staff at BlurredCon in 2020. Jesus. BlurredCon was a lot of people. It was a lot of people. We broke an AC. Actually, no, we broke 2 of them. So, like not physically like smashing an AC, like there were so many people, and that when the hotel turned the ACs all the way up in order to accommodate everybody, like the body heat of all the people, it broke 2 of them on Friday. Surprisingly, we didn't smell that bad come Sunday. It's like, okay, everybody showered, everybody slept, we're decent. But I do offer a consulting service for conventions. So if, like when you're starting out and you're putting together your team, you're just like, I really need somebody who has like experience with conventions, just give me a call. No, like there's a fee for the consulting itself, like the initial consultation, and then usually, depending, it'll be anything from a flat fee for whatever services that you do decide to get from me, or alternatively, depending on the kind of convention, I will also do kind of a quid pro quo, in which you either advertise me some way or free booth or pay for my room, depending on where the convention is. So that also is a thing too. Because I'm from Texas, and a lot of us do shit for free because like we want other people to know we exist. So like this panel, I'm not getting paid for. So like this is my freebie.
Thank you for your service. Would you ever consider maybe like council convention like micromanaging for like a salary like you want?
Yeah. I will definitely do that. Like if you I have my business cards up here, and so if you guys want to take one afterwards, you can. What was it? The next thing after getting everybody together? Hang on, because I went to a family thing earlier, and then I was like, I'm gonna go straight to the convention. Didn't realize I forgot to download the PowerPoint to my laptop. Okay, so after you get your people together, you gotta figure out when and where. Those are 2 very tricky things, because in addition to what time of year you wanna have it, you also have to consider what else is going on around that time. Because Anime Expo out in LA was the weekend right before BlurCon in Virginia. My best friend went to Anime Expo, and then I went to BlurCon, and neither of us, like both of us wanted to go to both conventions, and we're just like, we can't. You go to that one, I'll go to this one. We'll just take notes and then go 2020. It'll be fine. So be aware, because this happened to. So I no longer consult or work with SCACon, and that was just because like they're at that point where they no longer need my services. And what happened this past year as an oversight on pretty much everybody's part, because we picked our dates we picked our dates immediately after the second year. So like as soon as SCACon 2 was done, we picked our dates for SCACon 3, and none of us bothered to pay attention about additional dates, and it turns out KamehaCon was the same weekend. If you're going to go to if you have a choice between two conventions, one is a new college convention that you've never really heard of before, and the other one's KamehaCon. Which one are you going to?
College, man.
Y'all going to the college one?
I'm at Henderson City, ain't I?
Yep, nice. Nah, no, actually KamehaCon in Dallas, and then South Campus Anime Convention was in Fort Worth. So your choices are literally just like, okay, if you lived in Arlington, which is smack in the middle, would you go left or would you go right? And most people went right. Not to mention it turned out to heavily downpour that day. It was really unfortunate. So as part of that, when you plan your location, do make sure you have an indoor location. You can have portions of an outdoor location, but do make sure a majority of it is indoors, in case weather happens. Because weather is a very, very annoying thing to happen to you, because you can't fight it. You can't like adapt to it. You just gotta take it. You just gotta sit there. It's like, oh shit. So generally an indoor location is best. Free locations, yes, they do exist. It's called the library. No, I'm not kidding. Okay, yeah. So SCACon, it was semi-unique in the fact that it was free admission. And the reason it was free admission is because it's held at a college by college students. So they had full permission to use the facilities. Granted, they submitted a request to use said facilities on time. And so they could offer a free convention because they didn't have to pay a venue fee. And there's also another one in Arlington, Texas. I'm from Texas, by the way, so like I've lived there for like 7 years. So I came to New York. I'm getting adjusted to New York still.
Welcome to New York.
Thank you. All y'all really, really like your money, and none of y'all like to do things. And I'm just like, I need a place I need a venue that is either relatively cheap, where we can sell like $15 tickets, or like we can do a day thing in which it's like, oh, we just want people to come to the venue. Because those do exist. They are rare, but they do exist. And so there's a convention that's held in a public library, and they have an open space, and it's just a couple of vendors, and then the meeting rooms is actually the panel rooms, because it's really, really small, but it's also Texas. So the meeting rooms are about this big. Yeah, it's a library. Giant ass rooms. But, so make sure you pick your location, try for a free or low cost location. Once you get a quote for your location, you need dates for your location most likely. So once you get dates and then you get a quote from your location, you can usually estimate the approximate price of tickets. Don't be discouraged about selling tickets more than like $20.